In this video, you will learn what is WordPress settings, everything you need to know about WordPress settings. Hello everyone, welcome to WordPress Boffins. This is your host Mizan and I'm here with another brand new video from my WordPress management series named WordPress for Absolute Beginners. If you haven't watched the previous video of this series, please look at the info cards or in the description of this video. If you are new here in my channel, please consider subscribing. Okay. What is WordPress settings, or what is settings in WordPress? The settings area of your WordPress dashboard acts as a central location for the tools you need to define, customize and control the various sections of your website. There are 6 default pages to traverse, although some plugins will often add further options. Within each page are options to micromanage the way reader interact with posts, such as via commenting, general site-wide time and date settings, and even some essential tweaks related to usability and your search engine ranking. As you can imagine, these settings affect the very fabric of your site, and it is one good way to provide a unique experience for visitors. Okay, let's dive into the basic settings that comes with WordPress, and we'll also check some settings added by some other plugins. By the way, this video series is sponsored by BD Themes. BD Themes creates exciting plugins for WordPress. Please check out their website to find out their latest plugins. Okay, let's go to the WordPress dashboard and check out the settings that are available with every WordPress installation, and also we are going to check out other settings pages added by plugins. To locate the settings that are available with WordPress, we have to go to the settings menu on the left hand side of our menu, and it is usually the last option of our WordPress dashboard menu, but I have another menu option named HTTPS. This is from a plugin named WordPress HTTPS, and that plugins help to properly manage the secure server login, that is SSL certificate, but normally you will not have this option on your WordPress if you don't use this plugin or any other plugins. So usually you will have the last option as settings on your WordPress setup. I hope that makes sense and you don't have any confusion with my setup. Okay, I said that there are 6 default setting page or options available, but now there are 7 because WordPress has added privacy also, so that should be 7. So if we click on these settings or in the general, as we know that first option is always linked to the menu item name, that is general settings available for WordPress. If we click on it, then we'll see the default options available for this particular website. The general settings usually indicates the basic settings like the site name, site slogan or tagline, WordPress address, site address, and also administrative email, whether a member can register on this service or not, this kind of options. So those are general settings. So I'm going to describe every one of them now because I want to make this video with all the options available for WordPress settings. Okay, first one is site title. If I go to my home page, this is the site title WP Boffins, and if you are not using any theme based logo uploader or things like that, then maybe this is very useful for you to change the name according to your need. So right now there is WP Boffins. If I want to give this name WP Boffins lab, when I'm typing, you will see that in this area it is live previewing what will be the name of the site. But now let's save it, and if I refresh the page, we'll see that the site name changed to WP Boffins Lab, and just another WordPress site, that is the slogan or the tagline of this site, and we can change it to anything. Just another WordPress site by WP Boffins Lab. Oh, that's a cool name, by the way. WP Boffins Lab. So in this way we can update the tagline also. Okay, I hope that you know what is the purpose of these two options. Then the WordPress address URL is actually where your WordPress is installed, that is the domain that that has this particular WordPress installation. Now if you want to have a different URL structure or different name, then you can set that up on this option. Like let's say that you don't want to have lab, maybe fab.wordpress wpboffins.com, then you can give that name. But you have to keep in mind that if you are changing any domain name, then you have to add that to your DNS record of your domain register setting page. So let's say that I want to have an I after this. Let's see what it goes. As there is no domain change, just the URL prefixes changed, so I hope it will not make any chaos. Now if I go to my home page and if I click, see there is an I. There is an I after my WordPress actual WordPress installation. So in this way you can change your website's address, and please remember that site address means the virtual address and WordPress address means the actual address. So WordPress address will be where your site is installed, and site address is where you want it to point. Okay, administration email is as it says, the administrator's email, and if anything happens with your WordPress, this email address will be used to recover that. So you have to give a proper good email address that you have access to, so that you can have all the necessary emails, and if required you can have the access back for your website. Okay, membership is whether people can register on your WordPress site or not. If you click on this option, then that means if it's ticked, that means people can register on your website. If it's unticked, then people can't register on your website. If it's ticked, then whenever people are registering in your website, you can define their role, user role. We already have learned WordPress user role. If you haven't watched that video, please check for that video of in the WordPress for absolute beginners video series, or maybe I will add that on the description also. So by default, subscriber is the role that WordPress actually offers under this option. You can change it to anything like contributor, author, editor, administrator, but please keep in mind that every user role has different capabilities, so you choose accordingly. Okay, the next option is site language. You can change to different languages. By default, WordPress installs the English United States, but you can change it to anything else like Bengali. Bangla is the one that my native language, but you can change to anyone that is your native language, and WordPress has support for these languages. Like all the options in the dashboard will change accordingly. Let's say that I want to keep it to Bengali, and then I am saving it. It will take some time because it will install the language pack, then it will change everything. Let's see what happened. If you are a Bengali speaking people, then you know what it means. These are changed, everything changed into Bengali. So now I'm going to back to English because I don't want to make you scratch your head and pull out some hair from your head. Okay, so the next option is the time zone. By default, UTC plus 0 is the default time zone, that is a universal time, coordinated universal time is meaning UTC. So WordPress actually uses UTC because GMT sometimes changes, but WordPress uses UTC because UTC is always universal and never changes for daylight 7 and things like that. So that's why WordPress has adapted this time zone. So you can set up your accurate time zone, but normally some plugins always uses UTC plus 0, that is O. So if your site behaves weirdly, then you have to always keep it UTC plus 0. And but if you are using e-commerce and you need to have proper timing, then you have to change it anyway. The date format, as I said, you can change it to any of these, and you can also have custom date format. And for custom date format options, you can check on this documentation how you can put their date and things like that. And if you click here, you will see that the custom formatting is actually also changing, and the time format also the same. You can see that if I click on any one of these, then it will change. And if you need to have a custom structure, then please go read this documentation available, how you should put your times and things like that. Okay, the last option is when your site's week starts. It is very important if you are having an e-commerce or maybe something important like where you need to know when the week holidays or weekends, things like that. So you can put it, and internationally Monday is the starting date, so by default it will come with that. And if you need to change it, you can change it, no problem. Then whenever you are done, you have to click on save changes. These are the general settings. Let's dive into the writing settings. As the name suggests, writing settings is for writing WordPress post and things like that. By default, there is a default category named uncategorized, and if you want, you can change it to any other categories that are available in your WordPress setup. And by default, the default post format will be standard, but if your theme, it's a theme specific options, different theme has different post types or post format, I should say, and you can select anything like code, things like that. So by default it will be standard. And this is very important. If you are if your site has XML RPC enabled, then you can help people to write using email, but then they will send proper email to that particular email address, and from that email address the post will be updated. But it's not secure because using XML RPC, people can inject codes to your site. So I don't prefer this using this option. This is not recommended. So now let's go to the reading section of this setting page. Reading means how your content will be displayed to WordPress user. By default, as WordPress is a blogging system, so your setup will have your latest post. But WordPress, using WordPress, we can create anything. So if you want to have a static page as your home page, then you can click on this option, and then you can select any of your pages. And post page means the blog page. And by default, if your theme or your setup has a good blog layout, then you can select that page also. Or if you don't select it, then by default the WordPress default mechanism will use to show your WordPress page. If I save it, then let's see what is happening. Okay, so yeah, because I don't have anything, because we have changed the URL. So this is the default that page. Now I don't have any post available. Okay, so in this way we can change it. I'm just reverting back to your latest post. And blog post means how many posts are available per page. Let's say that our website has a lot of posts, then there will be pagination, and every page will have 10 posts. But if I want every page should have one post, then I can give it, and every page will have now one post, and there will be pagination. See, next page or previous page, things like that. So in this way we can also control how many posts are available. Syndication means RSS feed, how many items will be available in the RSS feed. You can also define that like 10 to 15, 100. And in the syndication, that is in the RSS feed, whether there should be the full content or excerpt, that is the mini version of your content, like that. Okay. The last option is very important, search engine visibility. And by default there will be no checked mark, that is it will be unticked. But as this is a playground for me and I don't want to hamper my WordPressBoffins.com's SEO ranking, so I have put ticked the discourage search engine for index in the space site option. So if you are working developing your site, you can also put tick it, and whenever you are done you can uncheck it, and then search engine like Google, Bing will start to index your site. The next option is discussion. If we go discussion, by the name we can say that it's for commenting. We know that we can comment on WordPress post, like we can comment here. So how we are going to handle the comments and moderation, we can set up those in the discussion settings. By default, these are the default post settings, post comment settings option or discussion setting option. The first option is attempt to notify any blog link from the post. If you have that option checked, then whenever you are putting any link on your content in the body of the content, then it will send a notification to that particular website that your content has been linked to XYZ website, and by this way they knows, and normally when we know that there is a track back and ping back coming to our website, actually this is the mechanism, and they will be notified, and they will feel, sometimes they will feel good or maybe bad, depends on the situation and where you are linking them. Allow link notification from other blogs, that is the first one was for you are sending them request or notification. The second one is for they're sending you notification when they are linking you. And allow people to submit comments on new posts. That means that if you have this checked, then people can comment, otherwise people can't comment on the new post. Okay, the next option is other comment settings. Normally comment author must fill out their name and email. If you don't give it, then they can put their comment anonymously, but it's better to have this, and in this way you can also collect email address and their names. And if you click on user must be registered and logged in to comment, that means that they have to register on your website before they comment. And if you get a lot of comments, or if your site is a newspaper types of site and those news are only available, relevant for a particular period of time, then you can select this option and give a particular date. That means that comment box will be closed after, in this case, 14 days. And if you say that I want to close it after 2 days, then after posting that post and after 2 days that will be closed, people can't comment. This is very useful for website that has content which become irrelevant in a few days, like event blogs or maybe newspaper. Show comment cookies opt-in checkbox, allowing comment author cookies to be set. This means that as people are giving their email address and name, that means that there are some sort of privacy and GDPR consent. I mean GDPR. You need to comply with GDPR. So for that, if you select this option, that means that people will find a checkbox. Like, as I am logged in, so there is no checkbox. Let me check. Okay, see, this is means this box, and in this way that cookie will be saved, and you can opt-in checkbox, and it's for opt-in, but it's also good for GDPR. And this is some setups like threaded comments, things like that. I will make separate video later if these options are necessary, if I get comments from people that they want to have different settings like that for these options, different tutorials for these options. Email me whenever means if someone is putting any comment, and if some comments are held for moderation, you can have an email to your WordPress administrative email address, and this before a comment appears by someone, you can moderate. Comment author must have previously approved comment, or all comment you can moderate. Comment must be manually approved. That means all the comment will be manually approved. If there is no this option is unchecked, then if someone has a comment before, then their comment will be automatically approved, things like that. And this is means comment moderation. If there are more than 2 links, then you can moderate them, or if there are some URLs that you want to moderate, you can put those here. And if there are some word that you don't want people to put, you can add those, like swear words, things like that. And avatar is the display options, and you can show avatar, or you can disable it. And by default, there which avatar will be there, you can select that, or maybe you can select any other through plugins. The next option is media. Then here you can select the default thumbnail size, default medium image size, and the large image size. And if you want to organize your post, uploaded images or media files into data and math base folder, then you can check this one and click save changes. The last important option is permalink. Second last, to be honest. Okay, permalink means the URL structure. Okay, right now I have day and name. That means full year, month, date, then the name of the post, that is the slug. If I put plain, that means it will have a plain URL structure, like let's say question mark p equal 51. That is a query string based URL, which is not search engine friendly. So if you are running a blog where you write every day, maybe newspaper or magazine types of website, then you can put day and name. In this way you can easily filter out post, and search engine will have better option and understanding which post has been published when, and your audience will also have that leverage to select posts that are recent. By month name, that means if you are writing month based, that is magazine, monthly magazine, then you can also put this, like there will be no date, that means year and month, and the post name. Numeric means there will be a archive, means some sort of keyword or area where your post will be, and then the post name or the number, in this case post ID. And the widely used one is post name, most of the evergreen or organic website uses this option, and I also use this one because most of my contents are evergreen and always relevant. So if your content is like that, you can put this post name, and by custom structure means that you can put custom structure and you can use these options. But as this is the beginner friendly video, I'm not explaining everything, and usually the post name or day name and month name is more than enough for you. And you can change the category based and tag based. By default, the category base is category and tag base is tag. If you want to change those, you can write the name here. And the final one is for privacy, for GDPR and CCPA consent. And by default, WordPress creates a privacy policy page. You can use that one, or you can use any other privacy policy page and change the content of the page accordingly. According to your needs, you can change that privacy policy page. And in this way, you can make your site compliance with the latest GDPR, CCPA, and other consent or compliance. That was kind of it for all the WordPress settings. And third-party plugin might have another setting page in under the settings, or maybe outside of the settings, so you can use those. And every setting page, whether that's from WordPress or from other plugins, will have same thing. You will have the option to change things and make it well and good enough for your website. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment if you have any question, or if you have any video request, you can also do that on the comment. And if you want me to improve my video, you can also put some constructive critics in the comment. Okay, I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye bye.